This has got to be one of the craziest stories I've seen in a long time, because people are literally going after movie critics now for just doing their job. Now, some people do reviews a little better than others, and I think people flock to honest movie reviewers, ones that don't sell out for $50 or gift baskets from a studio. I think that's why you see people like Critical Drinker sitting over 1 million subscribers. That's why you see Nerdrotic sitting over 1 million subscribers. And that's why you see Jeremy Jahns sitting over 1 million subscribers. About to hit 2 million, by the way. And he dared to review the movie Am I Racist from the DailyWire, which, by the way, a lot of mainstream movie critics aren't doing. So as Matt Walsh puts here, a week after release, we finally have a tomato score on Rotten Tomatoes. Still no mainstream critic reviews, though. And you know why they're doing that? Because they don't want to give the movie attention. Sometimes these people are smart, because what's going to happen as soon as New York Times and all of these big mainstream sites start reviewing this movie? They're all going to give it bad reviews. None of them are going to be honest about it. And it's going to cause a reaction, because, of course, I would talk about that, because, of course, they would slander this movie because it exposes their bullshit. And because of that, they're being wise and they're not reviewing it. But that, of course, also raises questions, because it's like, why aren't you reviewing a movie that's in the top 10 of box office films right now? I think it's number 4. Number 4 with barely any theaters, by the way. It's only in 1,000-something theaters, and it's number 4 at the box office right now. So there are some reviews in right now. Now there's 10, as Matt Walsh said. And, of course, look at that tomato meter for the audience, which, of course, they've changed to popcorn meter. It can't just be audience score now, because we don't want to know what real people are saying, so they're trying to snake around and change it. I'm surprised it's still there, like I've said. Eventually, they're going to get rid of the audience score, because it makes the critic score look stupid usually. But here are some of the reviews. They're mostly all positive except for 2. Tyler Smith, I don't know who that is, half-formed at best. And Jesse Gender, no idea who that is. Just a YouTuber who made a full review over here and doesn't like it. With a name like Jesse Gender, I wonder why. Despite a better target than the bigoted What is a Woman? Oh, that movie's bigoted now. An industry about profiting off of white guilt and not fighting racism, it shares the same flaws. Manipulative editing, lazy jokes, and no curiosity. Ending on a thoughtless final with no call to action. And then here's Jeremy Jahns, who we're going to get to. It made me laugh. That's it. That's all he said. Well, that's what they picked for what he said. Now, what's interesting about this is, I guess a few days ago, he was getting ratioed. That has now changed. He's now seeing 83,000 likes to 3.3 thousand downvotes. And there's comments in here saying, never watched any of your reviews before, but I found you because of the crazy people, and now I'm a fan. If you're hating Jeremy for doing his job, seek therapy. The fact that you reviewed a movie and a large group of political ideologues tried to slander you for being racist is all you need to know about them. And one of them included Mundane Matt. I didn't even know he was still around anymore. I was kind of shocked that he was still around. I haven't heard of him since he had that stream with Ethan Ralph years ago. But I guess he's still around. He's slandering Jeremy Jahns and calling him a villain and shit. Like, what is going on here? The dude is just doing his job. And the fact that he liked the movie, I think that's the problem. If he'd given it a bad review, we wouldn't be seeing a lot of this shit. But all of this has backfired on him. So He lost. And so, by the way, 10,000, that's not what that means. So when you get over 1 million views, you don't, like, he could have been, let's just say a few days ago, he was on the point of hitting 10,000 subscribers. That means it'll show up as plus 10,000. Like, it adds up until you reached a 10,000 marker. You don't see any growth on the channel. That's why it'll sit there blank. It used to be you would see it real time as it was going, but they changed it specifically when that guy that wears makeup, I forget his name, but his whole shtick is he like does makeup reviews or whatever, got a bunch of heat for something, and everyone was commenting on him losing subscribers. So they changed it so you couldn't see him losing subscribers anymore. It was YouTube that did that. Or I think Social Blade maybe did it. I don't remember the details, but that's why it changed. So you can't see it anymore. So he might have lost just a handful of subscribers. It's tough to say. But he quickly regained them, and then another 10,000 subscribers. That, my friends, is the Streisand effect in full force. So now he has rebounded, and people are watching his Social Blade because, well, I would imagine there were people that were smiling at his demise, and now there are people laughing at the people that were smiling at his losses. So he has gained 10,000 new subscribers because of a bunch of morons. And to show you what's going on here, Matt Walsh has some documentation showing what's going on here about how they are calling him an istophobe for nothing, just because he dared review a movie, which is kind of messed up. Like, that shouldn't be the case. You should not be hated on for just reviewing a movie, unless, of course, you're taking $50 for it, like some of these critics, or playing ball, as some of them have admitted before. Here's the post. The left has labeled Jeremy Jahns a racist and a sellout simply for reviewing my film. This is how they play the game: viciously denounce anyone who positively acknowledges the existence of the film so that other critics will be afraid to follow suit. And he's not wrong. There's old Jarbo. Midlife crisis because he reviewed a movie. The horror outlaw says, Jeremy Jahns has always sucked. It's amazing people valued his opinion. Him being a racist and a centrist coward is not surprising in the slightest. Wow. Here's more. A confirmed racist. All right. I can't think for the life of me why Jeremy Jahns would shine a light on a person like Matt Walsh and give him a shake, except that Jahns got a juicy offer from the DailyWire in the form of connections or payments or some other form of transaction. Right. You got nothing to say about those critics that flat out admit that happened, or that investigation, that big report that dropped talking about how they got paid $50. And I'm not kidding. That's a real thing. I would encourage you to look into that. By the way, here's an article from September 6th, 2023. Report: PR firm has been paying Rotten Tomatoes critics for positive reviews. That's a real thing that happened. And it's probably still happening. Movie's going down. Well, let's just give some no-names $50 to go in and make Rotten Tomatoes reviews. Or in some cases, just regular critics. For the low, low price of $50, mainstream critics' integrity can be bought. In some cases, gift baskets with Lego sets in them, as we saw with Star Wars Explained. Getting the low, low price of a $200 Millennium Falcon Lego set. They can be bought too. This shit happens all the time. And if you want this kind of shit, you got to play ball. I'm going to guess Jeremy Jahns doesn't play much ball, which is, evident by him reviewing this movie, by actually doing his job. This is why YouTubers are so big now. This is why people go to YouTubers for reviews. They don't go to any of these movie sites anymore. This is why people laugh at critic reviews. We sit here and have a good time laughing at the reviews and how they don't match up with audience scores. Like, all of this has happened because of them. So they'll go to this guy and watch reviews. And they'll go to Critical Drinker and watch reviews. They don't go to the New York Times anymore to read their reviews. Nobody wants to listen to them. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.